Good morning, everybody. It's glad to see everybody here today. Appreciate everybody coming out. This time, Colleen, if you will, please call the roll.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Barger?
Here.
Magistrate Tudor?
Here.
Magistrate Bakken?
Present.
Judge Taylor?
Here. At this time, I'd like to invite Mark and Lisa Caldwell. Is it Caldwell Reese? Race. Up. They're from First Christian Church. They're going to lead us in a word of prayer. Appreciate y'all being here today.
Thank you. Please join me. O God of light and life, as the sun rises over the hills and woods and plains of Madison County, so our hope rises each morning as we wake to your world. We are in awe of all you do. We recognize the responsibility and the opportunity that lie before us in the work of the fiscal court. The heritage of the past, the struggles and challenges of the present, and the dawning opportunity of the future are heavy weights, even for our willing hearts. Thank you for the opportunity to be stewards of this great trust. We are grateful for every individual in this room, the gifts, abilities, and networks of people they represent, and their willingness to serve. Thank you for so rich and lovely a garden of natural resources. We are grateful for this trust of natural wonder and beauty here in this county. Grant us today wise hearts, gentle minds, and capable hands as we cultivate this gift for our shared life here in this place.
And dear God, on this election day, when we cast our votes and our votes are received by our leaders, infuse and inspire our actions of voting and its processes with grace, wisdom, and hope. So our responsibility of voting will bring forth fruits of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, and understanding for all people in our land. In the name of Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Sheriff, if you will, lead the pledge.
If you would please stand, face the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Thanks, Sheriff. Guys, y'all had a chance to look at over the minutes from the previous meeting. This time I need a motion and a second for approval of those minutes.
So moved.
Second. If there's no discussion, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Barger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Treasurer's report will be at our fourth meeting, which will be in a couple of weeks. First on the agenda today is a proclamation. This is Diabetes Month. Paula Holland. Lisa Jones, okay. Sorry. When I saw that a minute ago, I was like, man, she did not just introduce herself a minute ago as Paula. So,
Paula
Lisa
wasn't able
Jones.
to be here today, but I'm the
Yeah.
coalition
Well,
member.
I wish I'd have caught that before now, but I'm glad you're here. All right, appreciate you being here. At this time, guys, I'm gonna read the proclamation, Madison County Proclamation. Whereas diabetes is a serious disease that has no cure, but can be controlled, and according to the World Health Organization, affects more than 415 million people worldwide, including 25.8 million U.S. citizens and more than 420,000 Kentuckians, including greater than 8,000 people in Madison County. And whereas 79 million U.S. citizens, which include more than 1.1 million Kentuckians who have pre-diabetes, and only 248,000 people know their diagnosis, which means that their blood sugar is higher than normal, though not at the level of diabetes, and is a condition that puts them at the highest risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And whereas the risk for death among people with diabetes is approximately twice that of people of similar age without diabetes, and diabetes affects people of all ages and all socioeconomic backgrounds, and is increasing among children and adolescents. And whereas millions of people with diabetes lack access to care, treatment, and education needed to identify, prevent, or manage the disease and prevent its serious and costly complications. And whereas an increase in community screening for diabetes ensures early diagnosis and prevention or treatment of diabetes can decrease the risk of serious complications. And whereas the United States General Assembly invites governmental and non-governmental organizations to observe World Diabetes Day in order to raise awareness of diabetes and its related complications. And whereas the United Nations encourages supporters of the UN resolution on diabetes to fight the worldwide epidemic by helping ensure that people with diabetes have access to quality treatment and education. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that we, Reagan Taylor, Madison County Judge Executive, Steve Conley, Mayor of Berea, and Jim Barnes, Mayor of Richmond, do proclaim November the 14th, 2016 as World Diabetes Day. So, give a round of applause.
And I would just like to say that those figures, that represents 1 in 11 individuals. And so we really appreciate your willingness to help us raise awareness about diabetes through signing this proclamation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Next on the agenda is the open bids for tower site electrical enhancements. Mark?
Judge, I've been given 2 bids this morning. They were both properly sealed and received the appropriate times, I'm sure. One bid was from Hepburn Consultants here in Richmond, and the other bid was from Master Electrical Services. I'll tender these to the Deputy Judge Executive, I guess, after 4 this morning for review and recording, and then at that point in time, they can be reviewed and report back to the next meeting.
Good deal.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud. Next is award bids for the fire apparatuses. Dustin?
Morning, everyone. Last court, we opened up the bids from E1 and Pierce Manufacturing. The committee, myself, and the 3 chiefs from the 3 jurisdictions reviewed those. It is the recommendation of the group we award the bid to E1. When the bids were reviewed, the bid from E1 was considered the most complete in meeting the specifications that were set forth by the group. It was determined collectively that Pierce Manufacturing left out many important specifications as well as offered items that did not fit the needs of these departments. We were unable to put a value to those items that were emitted by Pierce. Therefore, we are unsure of what their total price would be. We suspected because of that it could be much higher than what we were given. The bid total for E1 is $2,523,347. Now this is for 2 trucks for the county fire department, 1 for the city of Richmond and 1 for the city of Berea. So the county is responsible for $948,212 of that, of which CSEP is willing to pay $541,000. There are discounts available for prepayment to all 3 of the jurisdictions. We have those numbers, and they're just dependent on, do we want to pay 100%? There's 50 and 75% as well discounts. That's something we can get into. The 100% discount, excuse me, on the trucks for the county is $26,723 if it's 100% payment. We would ask the court if it's the court's agreement to go forward with this. We will do that pending the concurrence from the city of Richmond and the city of Berea. And that, we hope that to happen next week. We have meetings set up with them.
With their council or the commission?
Yes,
Or
with
with-
both.
with-
With the
with-
City of Richmond Commission meeting.
They meet tonight.
I believe it's been canceled.
Okay. Okay.
And then, yes, the Berea City Council, which is the 15th in the evening.
Okay.
Would all 3 governments have to pay up front to get the discount?
No. No, they'll be individually contracted, individually invoiced. So if one jurisdiction decided to pay 100% and one could only pay 50%, they would only receive those discounts on their truck, but it would not hinder or help the other jurisdiction in any way.
Do that figure out about 10 or 12%, or?
Judge, or Magistrate Combs, I'm not sure what the percentage is. I do have the numbers. They're all right at 26 to 27,000 per truck. Or, sorry,
It'd be
per,
more than that, 'cause
per
that,
organization, per
14.
organization.
no, 14, it'd be 1.4 million. If we're paying 984 and 541. So that's-
443,000 for our part, plus if you take the $26,000
Yeah, but he's
discount.
asking the percentage of the discount, so the percentage of the discount would be both the 984 plus the 541 added together, which would be about 1.5 million. So-
No, sir. The 541 is CSEP's portion of the 984.
CSIP's portion. A 984 is total for both of our trucks?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
So
541 off of
our part would be 443, and then if we take the $26,000 discount by early payment, get it down to $417,000.
but is ours, is the early payment based off the 984 or just our portion?
No, it's based off the 984, based off the total.
So CSIP would pay their portion along with us paying our portion to get the discount?
To get the 100%. Now, if CSEP pays their portion and the county was unable to pay it all ahead, there is still numbers for 50% discounts as well.
Do we have that much in the budget, Judge?
No,
Really, that's no question.
yeah, no. So, with this being, with this running through the county, so how's this working with the other two governments? Should their council and commission approve this before our court approves it? Since this is running through our,
So I think the way we wanted to move forward with this was that the court would approve it with the, pending on the concurrence of the two jurisdictions next week.
okay.
Whether we take the discount or not doesn't have to be decided on today anyway.
No, sir. No, sir.
Well, I mean, we would take the discount. Why wouldn't we want to save that money?
Well,
If we don't have it
we
in the
had the
budget,
money, we would, but we gotta find the money first.
Well, I mean, we can get a bond if we want to make the payment. Doesn't matter where we get the money, right? What other choices you got? Are they gonna finance our portion?
Could, I mean, I believe that's possible. We'd have to look into those details. I believe there is financing available. The 541,000 is gonna get you at least a 50% discount, because CSEP is going to pay up front for their portion, along with the portions of the two city trucks as well. So,
So what you're saying is that you're paying up front before they even build these trucks.
yes, sir.
So it has nothing to do with,
It's around this time of the signed contract. We have not signed any contracts. We still have to have meetings about the contract signing and finalize all the particulars of every specification. So we have some time before that happens. I can get you details on that.
Do we know how long it's gonna take to build the truck?
Yeah, the county trucks are about 11 months. The city trucks are about 12 months.
did you say it was a 2%?
So, unless you got a better rate there,
We'd be better off.
yes.
We'd be better off keeping it. Yeah, paying 50% down, keeping our money. We'll make more money off of it.
I heard you don't have another extra million out there anywhere, do you?
So the question today is just whether or not that we should proceed with awarding the bid.
Yes, sir.
Conditional upon the cities of Berea and Richmond likewise entering the similar proposal, and then at that point in time, you can figure out how it is that you're gonna payment, which method you're gonna use, and whether it's 100% or something less than that.
I like the way you stated that, and I'll
Thank
make
you.
a motion.
Good deal, I've just had fun doing it. Nobody will second it though, will they, Larry?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'll say,
Is there any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Barger,
yes.
Magistrate Tudor,
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken,
Yes.
Magistrate Combs,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Dustin. Appreciate it.
We have to bake sale now.
Y'all gonna have to start coming in on Saturdays and
Selling
washing
cookies
cars.
and-
Yeah.
Kenny.
Yeah, we'll have some car washes. Yep.
Wash fire trucks when they get here, won't
Yeah, I hope we don't have to wash it when it gets here. I hope it's shining when it gets here, but.
Get a lot of bake sales.
Next on the agenda is, Resolution 1615. It's the AFG Fire Grant, PPE, and extrication. A resolution of the County of Madison, Kentucky, authorizing the judge executive to make application for and upon approval to enter into an agreement with FEMA and the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program, which is AFG, to execute any documents which are deemed necessary by FEMA AFG to facilitate and administer the project and to act as the authorized correspondent for this project. So I need a motion and a second for the approval of Resolution 1615.
I make a motion, Judge, that we accept that resolution 1615.
Thank you. Any more discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Manager Chitter,
Yes.
Manager Botkin.
Yes.
Manager Combs,
Yes.
Manager Barter,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next on the agenda, approval of the pictometry flight agreements. I don't know, Chris, do you want to speak on behalf of this a little bit, or do you want me to do it, and then you bail me out if I do something wrong?
Sure, we'll do it together. As you know, 6 years ago, we signed into an agreement with the City of Richmond, the City of Berea, the county, and EKU to do the pictometry oblique imagery flyover of the county. We are coming up on the third year, so they're getting ready to fly in 2017. When we did the training about 4 months ago, there was a lot of discontent with the quality of the imagery that we picked for the first flight. What we did is we actually got a better quality picture, but we went higher in the air. So you're actually able to see less on the ground. So the group that compromises all of these people decided that we should look into the pricing to get lower to the ground. So what's in front of you is an actual written agreement that we didn't have before with the other entities. So this will be the first time we've actually signed a contract with each other, because we're talking about $113,000 worth of cost.
Is that our part, Chris, or is that?
No, that is
that's
not our
total-
cost.
That's total cost.
If you look at those, I don't have the numbers, let me pull it up on my
I've
phone
got
here.
them right here.
Love technology, right? What this is it's a total obligation of $113,000 over 2 years. And if you look at that sheet there, you'll see what each entity is responsible for each year. And those monies are due July 1st, 2017 and July 1st, 2018. So the county will shell out $113,000 and then collect that money from each entity every 2 years. So we will be on the hook in July of 2017 to spend $56,872.50. Fiscal court's responsibility of that is $9,997.50. And as you see there, PVA is taking the largest portion of that of $20,143.50. The city of Berea has agreed to spend $12,534. The city of Richmond is an equal share with us at $9,997.50. And EKU has agreed to pay $4,200. So what happened was, most of the county before was flown at the 9-inch imagery. The city of Berea and the city of Richmond and PVA decided they wanted to move down to 4 inches. So what they did is we split up the original obligation of the $50-some thousand we owed from the original flight, divided that up into $13,000 for fiscal court, 13 for PVA, and we charged them per sector that they wanted the 4-inch imagery. And if you don't have this sheet, but fiscal court is paying for 25 of them, PVA is paying for 101 sectors to be flown at 4-inch, the city of Berea is paying for 44, Richmond is paying to have 25 flown, and EKU is paying 9. So what that means is Billy Ackerman, the PVA, has gone through and kind of looked to see where he is reassessing properties. He's chosen 101 of those properties to have down at the lower imagery. That helps him measure more accurate, it helps him see windows and doors, it helps our firefighters when they're on scene, they can measure those things, it gives them all those tools at a better imagery. And what the city did is they agreed to pay their 25. So 25 of those sectors basically covers the city of Richmond. And EKU agreed to pay for the 9 that surround campus and encompass campus. And the county then jumped on board and said, okay, if everybody's gonna do that, then we'll chip in too. And we did 25 towards the north end of the corridor and a little bit out to down 52 towards Waco. So what we've done is basically taken the largest chunk of the county and gotten it down to 4-inch imagery at a fairly reasonable price, $10,000 a year for us to be part of that. I think traditionally before we were somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000. So we are really getting pretty good bang for our buck in this round. And what you have in front of you is actually the contract that we've never had with these entities before, because this is a large sum of money, so we want to make sure that everybody is there. Prior to this, the school board was part of the consortium, but they dropped out on it, so we had to pick up that amount of money. So we don't want to be in that position when we're spending $113,000. We want everybody to be signed in and have their money guaranteed to us.
Chris, was the city of Berea and city of Richmond, were they both satisfied with this?
Yeah, the city of Berea is the one that actually started the conversation. They were gonna have their 44 sectors flown regardless of what we did. And then when we started talking with pictometry and negotiating, it was like, hey, we can get all of this and just go back to what we had in 2011. If you've ever looked at it, and Reagan can attest to this, the 2011 imagery is way better than what we did in 2015.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
It was 3,000 difference, that's the reason I asked.
Yeah. So, PVA is picking up a large portion of that cost for us, because they really are the ones that get the best value out of it. Being able to measure properties for square footage and see all the enhancements and those kinds of things. So, they're paying the lion's share of the money.
Is
Chris,
this-
if we can get together with me on the amounts, because they don't quite.
They
your
don't,
amount.
they don't jive because at the last minute, Berea added 3 more sectors. So it screwed up my spreadsheet that's in front of you. So I'll submit new contracts.
Okay,
Basically, it's $267 per sector, so it raised the amounts just a little bit.
okay.
But I'll readjust those and resubmit for your signature.
Huh.
And then we'll bring back the pictometry agreement that the county will sign with pictometry for
Is this
signature.
same aviation group that we used before, Chris?
Yeah, pictometry is the only one that offers this kind of service, which is called oblique imagery. So we can basically spin that map 360 degrees and see all 4 sides of your building. Firefighters love it. In 911, they love it. They can spin that building. Is there windows? Is there doors? Those kinds of things can all be answered from the map.
So basically, there's no comparative bidding on this
No,
or
there is
anything?
not.
It's just one group we can go
Yep.
with? Okay.
Sole source. Good enough?
All right. So at this time, I need a motion and a second for the approval of the pictometry flight agreements with EKU, Mayor Barnes, City of Richmond, Mayor Conley, City of Berea, Billy Ackerman, PVA. And then Paul Gnu is with Eastern, that's the name, it's on the agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Second. It just goes to show you when you work together,
Absolutely,
along stuff, it works.
yep. It's better pricing too.
Absolutely.
Yep. No more discussion, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Byrd?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, guys, we have our final 2 firefighters that, the, committee has recommended to the court to hire. This, puts us to 24, right? Yeah. So, we're, but that's counting you though.
Yes.
So
I
23,
count as 2 or 3.
23.
so 23 plus
I
the
like to
chief.
myself anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
With the committee of Barney Alexander, Brandon French, Tim Gray, I sat in myself. I kind of oversaw it. We recommend that we hire, we got 2. One of them is Timothy Slowman. He lives on Horseshoe Bend Road. We'll start him out level 1 firefighter. He does have a CPAT. Start him out at minimum wage. And the second firefighter would be John Robinson. He lives on Burnt Ridge Road. He'll be the same, level 1, minimum wage. I want to start these guys on November 23rd of this year.
So that will bring us to 23 full-time,
That'd be 24.
24.
That'll be 8 on 2 shifts and then 7 on 1.
So 8 on 2 shifts, 7 on, so it's 23. We got one more to get to our 24, which we're supposed to have 4 per shift.
But if we have one leave,
We hired 3 about a month ago, and one of them, it just wasn't for him. He said, I got all respect in the world for you, but this isn't for me. And so, which I really appreciated him letting me know early on before we
yeah,
really
still
invested.
putting a lot of training stuff in.
Yeah, I really put them through the ringer, that first group. We put them through all the state mandated, state taught classes.
And then Rodney retired, so we lost him.
I think that's a good move, Jim, that he decided to opt out before he got in involved in a situation, you know, that with life depending on it or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I respect him for that.
Absolutely.
He came in, very humbled. I made a friend out of him, and he'll remain a friend. I appreciate him giving me that warning before we spent money on gear and things like that.
Do we want to do these one at a time? or-
Yep. I need a motion to hire Timothy Sloman as firefighter one, salary of $7.25 per hour, start date November 23rd.
I move we hire Timothy Sloman as firefighter one.
Second.
No more discussion, call the roll, please.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Berger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
And Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, need a motion and a second to hire John Robinson as a firefighter one, starting salary is $7.25 per hour, start date November 23rd, 2016.
Make that motion.
Second.
No more discussion, call the roll.
Magistrate Berger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
And Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Thank
Thanks, Chief. Next is first reading of amendment to the fiscal court administrative code. There's an amendment, no, actually, Rachel, welcome.
Hi.
It's your first time, isn't it?
It is.
To present to court, so welcome, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. So this is for the ordinance 1613, amendment to 4.3, says non-exempt salaried. Effective December 1st, 2016, all Madison County Fiscal Court salaried employees making less than $47,476 a year shall be compensated based on the Fair Labor Standards Act for any overtime accumulated over 40 hours. Employees falling in this category that work in excess of 40 hours shall be reimbursed at a rate of 1.5 of their hourly rate for hour worked over the 40 base hours in a work week. No salaried employees will be reimbursed for time between the scheduled work week, example 37.5 hours to 40 hours. This payment will be accounted for in the overtime section of the pay stub. It is permissible for a supervisor to offset the work schedule in an attempt to reduce the overtime payment as long as it complies with Department of Labor standards. No employee shall receive compensatory time in lieu of overtime payment. And I just want to make the court aware that there have been some department heads that have asked about compensatory time being an option, and that I'll be recommending during the updating process of the 2017 administrative code.
I'm sorry, is that last part again? You'll be recommending that? Is that what you said?
Yeah, whenever we update the 2017, after we look into it further.
And just for the court's awareness, this is a requirement under federal law, goes into effect.
Judge Cheney, you and I had some discussions yesterday, and we are on the same page and were yesterday, but.
Correct.
Okay.
Are we considering 20, 40 hours in a year? Is that what figure we use? How many hours are we counting in a year?
2080.
2080.
Mhm. Yeah.
So just for the court's awareness, and I don't mean to step for Rachel, but this is going to, under federal law, is going into effect December 1st. But then in addition, it will be updated, that dollar amount will be updated every 3 years. So this is a permanent change to administrative code, but that dollar amount may vary as the federal government changes that base amount.
Y'all have any questions? I need a motion and a second for the first reading of the admin fiscal court administrative code.
So moved.
Second.
We have discussion.
So as of now, commissary payment is not an option for overtime, but you think after the first year in the new ordinance, it will be brought into effect? Is that what we're saying here?
That we don't offer it now, but we will review it whenever we come to the
That's the
administration.
question. Yeah,
Yep.
it's an option in the future, but
Yeah.
it's not right now.
Yeah, but
Correct.
basically, we're gonna, if somebody works over 40 hours, you're gonna pay them time and a half.
Yeah, right now.
Mhm.
About $33 an hour based on this figure.
Yeah.
Well, probably,
Well, yeah, you're talking about the,
Hourly rate. I'm just
What
curious
hourly
the
rate,
hourly
yeah.
rate is. It's
Yeah,
$33
yeah.
an hour.
yeah. So you're gonna pay them time and a half, or what they're saying is when we review the admin code again, you could trade that out with maybe, comp
Vacation time,
time,
yeah.
basically. So
Yeah.
and you basically given, if you
Equal
work
value.
one hour over, you get 1.5 hours of comp time.
There's some pros and cons to that proposal that we'd like to bring to the court for you
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
to decide.
It's just, we're not really ready to
Discuss
discuss
it right now.
that comp time
Bulk
thing
of
right
that
now.
would be the road department anyway, would it?
No,
I'm
they're
sorry.
hourly employees.
No, they're hourly.
Yeah,
The
This
bulk
is
of these
only
individuals are
salaries.
gonna be CSEP. We're
Well, I
leaving,
mean, working overtime.
they're hourly employees. They get paid under federal law right now, currently time and a half.
yeah.
These are only salaried employees.
There's
So-
17 employees that are covered underneath this that would have to be paid overtime
Mhm.
if they were to go over.
Can
That
we
are
get a
salaried.
printout of those 17?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, but
Yeah.
I'm just, can we get a,
Just in, all parking, Mr. Long, does that happen often? Howard, in the overtime?
Howard, just step on up to the podium if you don't mind.
They were saying that the bulk of those employees belong to you. Do they have a lot of overtime out there?
Well, it's dependent. So we do programs after hours, several programs as far as community outreach, which is part of the CSEP mission. And you know, when there are disaster strikes, heavy snow, thunderstorms, tornadoes, there's a potential to call people out to actually help with those damage assessments, manage the EOC. So yes, there could be a potential to have them work. Normally, no. But I can't control training, so all these folks have to have certain numbers of hours of training a year and to get them up to speed. So I'd have to have some flexibility to make sure that I can get these folks adequately trained, because some of these trainings extend beyond 37 and a half hours if you count travel time, et cetera. So we've been able to work it out in the past with rearranging schedules.
So are you all budgeted for that overtime if it so happens, Howard?
It gets a little convoluted. CSEP does normally not pay overtime. If it is directly
Emergency related or
If it's
whatever?
emergency related to a CSEP event or tied to a CSEP training or something of that nature, we might be able to. It would have to be justified, and the time would have to be broken out and kept very carefully. If it's a normal emergency, no. We get two separate funding sources. We have emergency preparedness grant, and we have the CSEP money that comes in. So we operate on two different funds, and then plus the general funds that you all add into that. So it is manageable.
Very complicated.
And it's safe to assume that you're the keeper of the keys for that castle?
Yes, sir.
So I have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Magistrate Tudor,
Yes?
Magistrate Bakken,
Yes.
Magistrate Combs,
Yes,
Magistrate Barger,
Yes.
and Judge Taylor.
Yes. Next, guys, we're going ahead and approving our, 2000, well, I guess, one of the things I want to make notice of, make mention of, so Bill and Beth, if y'all write this down, we're changing our court date in December. With the holidays, we're actually gonna hold court on the first and the third Tuesday, which is December the 6th and December the 20th, 2016, at 9:30 in the morning in the fiscal courtroom in Richmond. So we're moving our court meeting to the first and the third Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning of December 2016. And then on the 2017 Madison County Fiscal Court schedule, everything is still the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. Still, the first meeting of the odd month is still always going to be in Berea. All the meetings are 9:30. Next December, we will only have one meeting that month, and it will be on December the 19th. I believe we chose that as the third Tuesday next year. So I need a motion and a second to approve the Madison County Fiscal Court schedule for 2017.
So moved.
Second.
No more discussion, call the roll.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Barger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, I need a motion and a second for an executive session to discuss a legal matter and as well a personnel matter.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get here. That's where we're gonna talk Dayland. Oh, call the roll.
I was gonna say, I didn't
Sorry.
get the color roll for that. Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Barger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes.
Thank you for keeping us on track.
So you got the motion and a second to come out of executive session? Colleen?
Motion by Magistrate Combs, second by Magistrate Bakken, and I'm ready to call the
All
roll
right,
when you
at
are.
this time, call the roll.
Okay. Magistrate Barger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. This time, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir, I'd make a motion that we terminate Lewis Caulfield.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There's no more discussion, call the roll, please.
Was that Roger who was the second on that? Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Bakken?
Yes.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Barger?
Yes.
And Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next, judge's report. I've got a few announcements today. First off, I'd like to congratulate the Madison Central Marching Band. They actually made history for winning the Kentucky State 5A Marching Band Championship 3 years in a row. So great shout out to them and how they represent our community well over the last 3 years. So proud to be in Madison County in there. There will be a Veterans Day ceremony at 1:30 p.m. on Friday, November the 11th. So that's just a few days from now, this Friday, November the 11th, in the Powell Plaza on EKU's campus. Madison County Courthouse and its related offices will be closed this Friday, November the 11th, in recognition of Veterans Day. Richmond Lions Club is hosting a Veterans Day weekend pancake breakfast on Saturday. So it's November the 12th at 8 a.m. at First Baptist Church on the EKU bypass. Madison County, just coming up for Thanksgiving, Madison County courthouses and related offices will be closed on Thursday and Friday, obviously, for the Thanksgiving holiday, and that's November 24th and 25th. Don't forget about the Richmond and Berea Christmas parades in early December. If you want to contact and are interested in being in it, Richmond Park and Recreation or the Berea Chamber of Commerce, if you want to be in either one of those parades. And then also, we do have job postings at this time. Please check out our website for information and postings at www.madisoncountyky.us. And also, you can see things on Facebook if you follow us there. Next is comments from department heads. Anybody? Philip?
Looks like I'm the sacrificial lamb this time. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Just want to let everybody know that our parks are up and running still. We've had a great fall with the nice weather, and I do want to remind everyone that the restrooms at the parks will close for the season the week of November the 21st, which is Thanksgiving week. And they'll reopen about April 1st or so of 2017. Operation Stars and Stripes is up and running. This is where we ask people to bring signed Christmas cards or new sealed DVDs to the Battle of Richmond Visitor Center, and we will get them to our military personnel serving both stateside and overseas. And this project will run through Wednesday, November the 23rd. Project Christmas Stocking will begin the week of November the 28th, and this is where the Battle of Richmond Visitor Center and Madison County Parks Department collect socks and new packaged socks to, for the disadvantaged in Madison County. This event will run through December the 20th, and the Battle of Richmond Visitor Center is located at 101 Battlefield Memorial Highway, which is the intersection of US 25 and 421. And now, after many phone calls and emails and sometimes tense negotiations, we have secured a very special guest to come and visit Madison County. Santa Claus is going to come out to Pleasant View at Richmond Battlefield Park on Sunday, November the 20th, from 2 until 4 p.m. And so, Scott Tussey, you've got a little while to get yourself together, and maybe you'll get a good Christmas present this year. We'll put a good word for you. And we encourage families to come out to get their picture taken with Santa Claus at the battlefield, and maybe able to use it as a Christmas card this year. It's just a little bit early, but as we all know, Santa Claus is rather busy, and so we had to get him in early. And for more information regarding these events or any of the Madison County Parks information, have a question about it, just call us at the Battle of Richmond Visitor Center at 624-0013. Any questions, gentlemen? Ladies, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Appreciate the
Phil.
update. Next, comments from Astrids. Larry?
Well, Judge, first of all, I'm glad to be here, but and I want to thank the court and you for us having 6 meetings in Berea each year. Although around we don't have a lot in Berea, I guess, other than myself, Sheriff Cole, and Tommy, I guess. So it is a good place to meet. It's subject, where people can come in if there's something going on, and 9 times out of 10 it has to be a them to come in. I would encourage everyone to take an opportunity to go vote today. That's what makes us free. And when we go vote, it doesn't matter who you vote for, vote whoever you think's the best. I'm not on the ballot, so don't worry about me. Judge, you're not as other matters are, but I would encourage everybody, and I know this one is how come me be late, and I apologize for that, but I got in a long line. So I feel like maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock that line may get long. But I would encourage you to go vote. And I appreciate the court willing to come to Berea. You don't know how much it means to me. It means a lot to me. But other than that, Judge, I'm just glad to be here.
Glad to be here too, buddy. Ross?
Try to pick out a different group to know how much we appreciate it when I can. Scott Tussey and Amanda with the Solid Waste Department. I want to thank them for the job they do, and I don't think everybody knows how much the public appreciates the trash pickup on the roads. And you can still find paper or trash or whatever on the roads after they picked up. It's going to happen every day. I mean, they can clean them one day and the next day they need picked up again. But still yet, it helps our county look a lot better. The public, it's one of the things that the public likes to see, is people out picking up the trash. Just makes a better look for the county. When they get ready to mow, there's not as much to chop up and sling out in the road. But I think they do a great job down there. And of course, the dead animal pickup and the good service that we offer. But I just appreciate that group for what they do. That's all I got.
Thank you, Ross. John?
I'd just like to kind of comment on what Larry said about going out and voting. This is a privilege. It's not a right. It's something that we're all have the privilege of doing. And a lot of good men and women have sacrificed the ultimate sacrifice, their lives, so that we live in this country and we're able to get out and vote and share our ideas and vote for the one that we want to represent us. And it just, really hits hard. It hurts really bad when I see someone that's not willing to get up and honor our flag when it's brought to attention. That really irks me, and I guess that's part of being in a free country, but a lot of good men and women have lost their lives for that right here. My dad fought in the Battle of Bulge in Germany. My oldest son was an airborne ranger in Afghanistan, and my youngest son is in the Air Force in New Mexico right now serving our country. So it's really patriotic. It means a lot to me. A young teacher that here in the county I want to give a big shout out to, Miss Sharon Grays, is Clark Moore's middle school civic teacher, and Sharon has taken groups all over the world to Japan. Does so much for her classes, and her class was one of 2 in the nation that CNN chose to come in and do a mock trial videotaping of. There's a website that you can go to and watch that. It was going to be on the CNN television station. They were afraid it would affect the outcome of who knows, middle school graders affect the outcome of an election. But anyway, they decided not to show it live. It's on videotape. But Sharon Graves does so much for her students and so much for the county, and that's not all that I want to commend her on. She and her 11 students from her 8th grade class, 2 different weekends this month, has been out and cleaning our county cemeteries up that were overgrown, and that is a very, really humble civic duty that she's teaching these children, and I appreciate Sharon Graves for all she does for the county and for her classes.
Thanks, John. Tom?
Judge, at the last court, I kind of shortchanged solid waste just a little bit. We were talking about the trash pickup, and I said that we don't really have anybody we can call if something needs something right now, and I didn't mean that we don't have anybody. We do, and I've used that option several times for Scott Tussey and them at solid waste. The problem with that is that whenever we call them, that they have to break in or drop whatever they're doing to respond to us. We certainly appreciate that, and the people that you're going, Scott, and helping out when you're gathering up mattresses and couches and chairs and TVs and you all know what gets scattered out. They appreciate that, so we thank you very much for that service. I also don't think I got to pat the sheriff on the back there at the last court. He had a couple of the deputies come out to the Okanite Open House, which they hadn't had one in a couple of years, and they've done a lot of expansion out there, and everybody seemed to enjoy looking at the county's new cruisers and climbing in. So I tried to get some of them to get in the back, but they wouldn't. But we appreciate you, Sheriff, sending your deputies out for that. And let's see, Willie, I know Willie's still here somewhere. There you go, hiding. I got a couple of calls today, yesterday on Peggy Flats and the good job that the Moine crew's doing out there. And so we don't hear enough of that. We'll probably hear the same thing over on Ogling. I know you went back and reworked that, and we certainly appreciate that. The citizens appreciate that. If they're willing to call you and say thank you and not complaining about something, you're doing a great job. So thank you for that. And I want to pass this around. Judge, this is my last thing. A good friend of mine, his name was Brian Newman, gave me a bullet back in the summer, and he really, he had no idea what this would mean to me when I got to taking a look at it. You gotta just take a look at that. But that, I'm no authority on bullets, but you can take one look at that one and tell it it's been around a long time. And what I got to thinking about that, with today being election day, was just, simply where has that bullet been? There's a good chance that maybe that was brother on brother or son on father. That could have gone way back, and John was alluding to it earlier, but a lot of our military members have given the ultimate sacrifice so that everyone here and everyone that's listening to us can have the option to go vote today. And I urge you to do that very thing. Who you vote for, when you step behind that curtain, is your own business. But please go vote, because a lot of good men and women paid the price for you to be able to do that. And along with that, Friday is Veterans Day, Judge. Of course, you know I'm a 20-year Army veteran, and I want to say to everyone here in Madison County, all of our veterans, thank you. We certainly appreciate your service. And let's see, my last thing, Judge, I just want to throw this out for record. Today, in 1980, I said I do, and better yet, she said I do. My wife, we've been married 36 years.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Well, that's what hard as they say, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
I feel sorry for her.
Karen's a dandy.
Yeah, she is.
I might tell you that bullet is not the one that's on Andy Griffin's show, Barney's.
It might be.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Comments from audience. Anybody in the audience need to say anything?
I'd like to know how Wayne Long got his picture right up there.
That's good. I need a motion and a second to pay the claims and approve the transfers.
So moved. Second.
Call the roll.
Magistrate Balkin?
Yes.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Berger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Judge Taylor?
Yes. Next court date is Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016 in Richmond. It's Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016 in Richmond. I need a motion and a second for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Magistrate Combs?
Yes.
Magistrate Berger?
Yes.
Magistrate Tudor?
Yes.
Magistrate Balkin?
Yes.
Judge Taylor? Judge Taylor?